So, you know how sometimes your English feels a bit, well, maybe not quite like what you hear native speakers using.
Yeah, like you understand everything, but maybe it doesn't always flow quite as smoothly when you actually speak.
Exactly. And that's what we're really diving into today.
Right. In this deep dive, we've basically distilled a recent language learning resource down into 50 really practical English phrases.
50. Okay.
Yeah, ones that native speakers use, constantly in just everyday conversations.
So the idea is to give you a kind of shortcut.
Pretty much a shortcut to sounding, more fluent and expressing yourself with a bit more confidence in all sorts of daily situations.
50 phrases does sound like quite a lot, though.
It does, but think of them as like the core building blocks for natural sounding English. It's not just about memorizing lists.
Right. It's got to be more than that.
Definitely. We want you to really grasp how and when to actually weave these phrases into your daily chats for, real communication.
And to make it stick, we're going to look at examples, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Real life scenarios giving you the context so you can start using them, more intuitively.
Okay, so what's the plan for this deep dive? What areas are we covering?
Well, we'll kick off with greetings, moving beyond the real basics. Then looking at how to ask how someone really is doing.
Okay.
Then we'll get into natural ways to agree, show surprise or interest, make polite requests, offer help.
Talking about plans too?
Yep. Chatting about plans, and also how to wrap up conversations without it feeling awkward.
Good one. What else?
Let's see. Expressing emotions, opinions, asking for clarification when you need it. Those useful filler phrases.
The fillers.
Exactly. They give you thinking time. Also, making suggestions, shifting topics smoothly, how to disagree politely.
That's crucial.
It really is. Showing surprise or amazement, giving reassurance, stating your plans clearly, offering and requesting things politely, giving advice.
Wow. Okay. We're covering a lot.
Navigating agreement and disagreement again, those little casual chat phrases. Confirming info, excusing yourself, showing uncertainty, and finally, just some quick, natural, everyday responses.
Okay, so if your goal is to make your everyday English sound less, I guess, textbooky and more like just part of the conversation, then let's dive in.
Let's do it, starting with greetings.
Right. So we often just start with hi, which is fine now.
It's totally fine. But native speakers very often use more casual, friendly options. Things that, build rapport quicker. Think about, hey, how's it going? Or maybe, what's up?
Yeah, they just feel warmer somehow.
Yeah.
Or relaxed.
Exactly. Like imagine bumping into someone, maybe at a coffee shop. Instead of a formal hello, just dropping a, hey, how's it going?
Right. It immediately sets that relaxed tone. And they might just say, not too bad, just grabbing a coffee. Simple.
Precisely. It just signals a more informal kind of connection right away.
Yeah.
Another really useful one, especially if you haven't seen someone for a bit, is long time no see.
Oh, yeah. Classic. You run into an old colleague, maybe?
Perfect example. You spot them across the room. Going up with, hey, long time no see, how have you been? Just acknowledges that gap naturally.
And they'll likely respond with something like, yeah, it's been ages. Keeping busy,
Exactly. Okay, so moving on to asking how someone is, how are you, is standard, of course.
But sometimes it feels a bit automatic.
It can, yeah. Phrases like, how are things, or how's everything, often feel a bit more like a genuine invitation for a little update. Maybe suggests a slightly closer connection.
They do feel less like just, a standard pleasantry, like asking, how's everything going with the new project? Or maybe, how are things with your family? It encourages a bit more detail.
Absolutely. Or think about this. A friend's been having a tough time. Instead of the automatic, how are you? Maybe asking, how's everything been lately? It kind of opens a door for them to share, if they want to.
Yeah, that feels more sensitive. Okay, let's talk about agreeing. More ways than just saying yes, right?
Oh, definitely. Instead of just a simple yes, using phrases like exactly or that's so true shows much stronger engagement. It shows you really understand what they've said.
Right. So if someone says learning English takes patience, you could respond with.
Exactly. It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. It shows you really get it.
Or someone might say, wow, it's been really humid this week.
And you could say, oh, that's so true. My hair has been impossible. It adds that relatable detail.
Okay, quick practice for you listening. Someone says, I think taking breaks is really important for productivity. How could you agree strongly?
You might jump in with totally, or that's so true. I find I get way more done when I step away for a bit.
Nice. Okay, now what about showing surprise or interest, keeping the conversation lively?
Yeah, those little reactions, phrases like no way or you're kidding, are fantastic for this. They make you sound much more involved, more reactive.
Definitely. If your friend says, I just booked flights to Italy,
Mhm.
a simple, oh, nice is okay, but
But no way, you're kidding. That's amazing.
Shows real excitement, right? It encourages them to tell you more.
Absolutely. So, say a colleague tells you, I actually met the CEO in the elevator this morning. What's a natural reaction?
probably something like, you're kidding. Wow, what did you talk about? That you're kidding adds the perfect amount of surprise.
Got it. Okay, shifting gears. Asking for a favor. Politeness is obviously key here.
Super key. Instead of just like, help me with this, which can sound a bit demanding,
Yeah, a bit abrupt.
try softening it. Could you do me a favor and help me with this? Or maybe, would you mind giving me a hand with this?
Much gentler. It acknowledges you're asking for their time or effort. Like instead of, send me the report.
You could say, would you mind sending me that report when you get a chance? Much nicer.
Or even just, can you do me a favor and hold the door instead of just expecting it?
Exactly. So let's say you need someone to quickly proofread an email. How would you ask politely? I'd probably go with, hey, would you mind taking a quick look at this email before you send it? Just want to make sure it's clear.
Perfect. And the response is likely going to be, sure, happy to. Okay, let's flip it. What about offering help?
Yeah. Instead of waiting to be asked, being proactive.
Exactly. Phrases like, do you need a hand with that? Or even just, let me know if you need anything.
They show you're paying attention, right?
Yeah.
That you're willing to help out. Like if you see someone struggling with bags,
Yeah, just a simple, do you need a hand with those is really thoughtful.
or if a coworker seems really stressed, maybe, hey, looks like you've got a lot on your plate. Let me know if I can help with anything.
Absolutely. Okay, quick scenario. You see your neighbor trying to juggle their keys, the mail, and a coffee. What could you offer?
Maybe just, hey, need a hand there? Simple, friendly.
Perfect. Okay, let's talk about plans. Agreeing to them casually.
Right. So if someone suggests something cool, like, let's check out that new band on Friday.
Instead of just, okay, a really natural, casual way to agree is, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm down for that. It sounds enthusiastic, ready to go.
Exactly. And then for just confirming the details like time or place, sounds good is your go-to.
Super common, super useful. Let's meet at 7.
Sounds good. Simple, clear, confirms the plan.
Okay, let's try one. Friend texts, pizza tonight. How do you confirm casually? Sounds good. What time works? Or just, sounds good. I'm in.
Nice. Okay, so we've covered starting, checking in, agreeing, reacting, asking, offering, planning. Now, how do we end a conversation politely?
The graceful exit. Instead of just an abrupt bye, using warmer phrases like I'll catch you later or talk to you soon feels, well, smoother.
Yeah, less final. It implies you'll connect again after a good chat, saying, all right, it was great talking to you. I'll catch you later.
Exactly. Or ending a call maybe, okay, gotta run, but talk to you soon. Take care. It's friendly, warm.
Now, here's a neat little trick. Native speakers use a lot of those little tag questions at the end.
Oh, yeah, like, you know what I mean. Or adding right onto a statement.
What's the point of those, really? Well, they kind of check for understanding or agreement without directly asking. They keep the other person involved, make it more interactive.
Okay, so like, this project is taking way longer than expected. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It invites the other person to agree or share their own experience. Or maybe, that movie was amazing, wasn't it? You're looking for that shared feeling.
Let's try one. Takes a sentence. Traffic was terrible this morning. Add a tag.
You could say traffic was terrible this morning, wasn't it? Or maybe, right? Both work to invite a nod or a comment.
Makes sense. Okay, we've hit a lot already. Let's move into expressing emotions naturally. Starting with the positive stuff, happiness,
Right. Someone shares good news instead of just, that's good.
which can sound a bit flat.
Exactly. Try something more expressive like, I'm so glad to hear that, or that's awesome.
Much better. So if your friend says, I got the job, don't just say, good.
No way. Say, oh, wow, I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. You must be thrilled. It shows genuine excitement.
Okay, quick practice. Someone tells you, we finally booked our vacation. What's a good, happy response?
Oh, that's fantastic news. I'm so glad to hear that. Where are you going?
Perfect. Now, the flip side. Hearing bad news or difficult news? How do you show sympathy naturally?
Yeah, this is important. Simple phrases like, oh, that's too bad, or I'm sorry to hear that, are fundamental. They show empathy.
Right. So if a colleague says, my dog is not feeling well,
A natural response is, oh no, that's too bad. I hope he feels better soon. It's simple, but shows you care.
Or a friend says, I didn't get into that program I applied for.
Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. That must be disappointing. Acknowledges their feelings.
So just practicing saying, I'm sorry to hear that, and maybe adding a little hopeful message is good.
Definitely. Okay, sometimes you want to show you really understand, like you can relate.
Showing empathy on a deeper level.
Exactly. Phrases like, I get it, or I know what you mean, are great for this. They build connection.
Right. If a friend says, I'm just feeling so burnt out lately.
Responding with, yeah, I totally get it. It's been a crazy few months for everyone, hasn't it? Shows you understand that feeling.
Okay, practice. Someone says, it's hard to concentrate with all this noise. Show you relate.
I know exactly what you mean. I find it impossible to focus when it's loud too.
Perfect. Now, what happens when you don't understand something? How to ask for clarification politely.
Yeah, crucial skill. Instead of just, what? Or, huh, which can sound a bit rude.
Could you say that again, please? Or maybe, sorry, what do you mean by that?
Much more courteous. It shows you want to understand. If someone's speaking really fast, it's okay to say, sorry, could you repeat that a bit slower?
Or if the idea itself is confusing.
You could say, I'm not sure I'm following. Could you maybe explain that differently?
Good options. Just practicing saying, sorry, could you say that again? Helps make it feel natural.
Definitely. Okay, let's talk about filler phrases, those little pauses.
The ums and yous, or more than that.
Well, yeah, those two, but also phrases like, let me think, or, well, they give your brain a second to catch up.
Right. So if someone asks, what's your favorite book? You might say,
ooh, let me think. That's a tough one. Maybe. Let me think. Buys you a moment.
Or if you're explaining something complex, well,
yeah,
sound like cool before you find the exact words.
Exactly. Let's try one. Just say, let me see. I think the best option is see how it creates that natural pause.
Yeah, it does. Okay, making suggestions now, friendly ones.
Right. Instead of ordering someone, let's go to the park, try softer options.
Like,
how about we go to the park? Or why don't we check out the park later?
Feels more collaborative. Like deciding dinner plans.
You could say, how about we grab some sushi? Or why don't we see what everyone feels like?
Much better. Okay, try suggesting watching a comedy movie tonight.
Hey, how about we watch a comedy tonight? Or why don't we find a funny movie?
And a likely reply, sounds good. Or, yeah, I'm down for that.
Exactly. Okay, changing topics. Sometimes you need to pivot the conversation. How do you do that smoothly?
The smooth transition. Key phrases are, by the way, or speaking of which, or even just, oh, that reminds me.
Right. You're talking about work. Then you could say, oh, by the way, did you see that game last night? It signals the change.
Or if the previous topic sparks a related thought.
Yeah, like you're discussing weekend plans, maybe hiking. You could say, speaking of being outdoors, have you been to that new nature reserve yet? Connects it slightly.
Okay, practice. You're chatting about restaurants, and you suddenly remember you need to ask about a meeting tomorrow.
You could say, this food talk is making me hungry. Oh, by the way, are we still on for that 10 a.m. meeting tomorrow?
Nice and smooth. Okay, disagreeing politely. This is a big one.
Huge. You want to state your view without causing offense. So avoid blunt things like, you're wrong.
Definitely avoid that.
Okay.
So what are the alternatives?
Try acknowledging their point first. I see your point, but. Or, I understand where you're coming from, however. Or even a softer, I'm not sure I totally agree with that because...
Okay, so if someone says public transport is always unreliable.
You could say, I see your point. It can definitely have delays, but I find it quite convenient sometimes, especially during rush hour. Softens it.
Right, it opens up discussion rather than shutting it down.
Yeah.
So let's try one. Someone says cats are much better pets than dogs. Politely disagree.
You could go with, haha, I know a lot of people feel that way, but personally, I'm more of a dog person. Or, I see why you'd say that, but I think they both have their pros and cons,
Good ones.
Yeah.
Now, what about showing real surprise or amazement? Like something unexpected happens.
Beyond no way. You could use things like, that's crazy, or I can't believe it.
Right. Someone tells you, I saw a deer walking down my street this morning.
A natural reaction is, you're kidding, that's crazy. Right in the middle of the city. Shows real astonishment.
Okay, another one. Your friend says, I learned to play the guitar in just 3 months.
Wow, I can't believe it. That's amazing. You must have practiced a lot.
Perfect. Now, reassurance. Someone's worried, Or maybe embarrassed.
Yeah, you want to make them feel better. Simple phrases like, don't worry about it, or it's not a big deal, or no worries are great.
So if someone spills a bit of coffee.
Well, don't worry about it. It happens all the time. It's no big deal. Minimizes the mistake.
Or someone apologizes for being a few minutes late.
No worries at all. We just got here too. Reassuring.
Okay, scenario. A friend forgot to call you back and feels bad. Reassure them.
Hey, don't worry about it at all. Seriously, it's not a big deal. I know things get busy.
Nice. Okay, expressing your own honest opinion, maybe when asked directly.
Using, to be honest, or honestly speaking, signals you're about to give your candid thoughts.
Right. Someone asked what you thought of a presentation they gave, and maybe it was just okay.
You could say, to be honest, the content was really strong, but maybe the pacing felt a little fast at times. Gives constructive feedback, honestly but politely.
Or your opinion on a movie everyone else loved, but you didn't.
Honestly speaking, it wasn't really my favorite. I found the plot a bit predictable.
Let's try it. A friend cooked dinner, and it was edible, but not great. They asked how it was.
Uh-oh. Maybe, to be honest, it was nice, but perhaps a tiny bit more salt next time. Tread carefully.
Good advice. Okay, stating your own plans or intentions.
Simple ones here. I'm planning to, or I'm thinking of.
So, talking about the future, I'm planning to visit my family next month.
Or I'm thinking of starting a new hobby, maybe pottery. Just shares your intentions naturally.
Okay, quick practice. What's something you're vaguely considering doing soon?
Well, I'm thinking of trying out that new cafe that opened down the street.
Sounds good. Now, let's revisit offering help and making requests. Maybe slightly more formal or extra polite versions.
Sure. For offering help very politely, you can use, would you like me to?
Right, like if you see someone clearly struggling to reach something on a high shelf in a store.
Excuse me, would you like me to grab that for you? Very courteous.
And for making polite requests, especially maybe in writing or to someone you don't know well.
Could you please? Is standard and good. Or even more formal. Would it be okay if, or would it be possible for you to?
So asking your boss for a quick chat.
Excuse me, would it be possible to have a quick word when you have a moment? Very professional.
Okay, practice. You need to borrow a colleague's stapler. How would you ask politely?
Hi, sorry to bother you. Would it be okay if I borrowed your stapler for a second?
Perfect. All right, giving advice or suggestions, friendly advice.
Yeah, instead of a strong, you should, which can sometimes feel bossy.
Try softer options.
Exactly, like you might want to, or have you thought about, or even if I were you, I'd probably...
So a friend is complaining about being tired all the time.
You could gently suggest, you might want to try going to bed a little earlier.
Or if someone's stuck on a problem at work.
Have you thought about asking Sarah for her input? She worked on something similar. It's just offering an idea.
Okay, try suggesting to a friend that they should try meditation for stress. Gently.
You know, I've heard meditation can be really helpful for stress. Maybe you might want to look into it.
Nice and gentle. Okay, circling back to agreeing and disagreeing one last time. Strong agreement first.
Yeah, beyond exactly. You can use absolutely, or totally, or I couldn't agree more.
So if someone says communication is key in any relationship.
Absolutely. It makes all the difference. Shows really strong agreement.
Or we really need to focus on sustainability.
I couldn't agree more. It's vital for the future.
Okay, react strongly to. Taking vacations is essential for preventing burnout.
Totally. Everyone needs a proper break to recharge.
And for disagreeing, but maybe when you're not completely sure or want to be extra gentle.
You could use phrases like, I'm not so sure about that, or that's one way to look at it, but, or that might be true, but.
So someone says working from home is always more productive.
You could say, I'm not so sure about that. I think it really depends on the person and the type of work, expresses doubt gently.
Or social media is mostly a waste of time.
That might be true for some things, but I find it useful for staying connected with friends overseas. Offers a counterpoint.
Okay, try gently disagreeing with. You should always reply to emails immediately.
I see the point about being responsive, but I'm not so sure it's always possible or even efficient to reply immediately to everything.
Good nuance. Okay, we're nearing the end. Just a few more categories. Casual conversation fillers or softeners.
Yes. Things like kinda, sort of, like very common in informal chat.
How are they used? Like the movie was kind of slow.
Exactly. Softens the statement slightly. Or it's like, when you can't find your keys and you're already late, using like and, as fillers.
Or clarifying. I mean, I enjoyed the trip, but it was also sort of exhausting.
Precisely. Try using one to describe something that was okay, but not amazing.
The concert was good, I guess. It was sort of loud, though.
Perfect. And confirming information again, those little end tags.
Right.
And
Super useful for quick checks. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, isn't it?
Or you're coming to the party tonight, Ray. Just double checking.
Try adding one to, this is the correct address.
This is the correct address, right? Or isn't it?
Exactly. Now, excusing yourself politely when you need to leave.
Beyond goodbye, maybe you're in a hurry.
Yeah, you could say, sorry, I've got to run. Or, I'm actually in a bit of a hoodie. Can we catch up later?
Or just a simple, all right, I should probably get going.
Yep. It was great chatting, but I've got to run. Talk soon.
Practice ending this segment like you need to leave.
Okay, fascinating stuff, but I've actually got to head out now. Let's pick this up another time.
Nice one. And finally, expressing uncertainty politely when you just don't know the answer.
Instead of just, I don't know, which can sound a bit unhelpful.
I'm not sure, actually. Or, I'd have to check on that. Or the very useful, let me check and get back to you.
Right. Someone asks, do you know when the report is due?
If you're unsure, I'm not sure off the top of my head. Let me check my calendar and I'll let you know. Much more helpful.
Or, do you know how to fix this printer?
Oh, I'm not really sure, but maybe we can look it up online. Offers a next step.
Okay, someone asks you the population of Canada. You don't know.
Gosh, I'm not sure, actually. I'd have to look that up. Honest and polite.
And lastly, those super quick, natural responses we use all the time.
Yeah, like for thank you, instead of always you're welcome, try.
No problem, anytime, sure thing.
Exactly. And for sorry?
It's okay. No worries. Don't worry about it.
And for goodbye?
Take care. See ya. See you around. Catch you later. Talk soon.
Perfect. The key is just making these automatic part of your everyday flow. They really smooth out interactions.
Wow. Okay, that really was a deep dive. 50 phrases. It's a lot, but incredibly useful stuff for sounding more natural.
Absolutely. Think of it as your starter kit, your toolkit for more effective and confident English conversations. But the main thing is, you got to use them.
Right. That's the key takeaway, isn't it? We really encourage you listening to start actively trying to weave these into your daily chats. Don't worry if it feels a bit weird at first.
Not at all. The more you practice, the more natural they'll feel. And honestly, using them will boost your confidence and help you connect better with people. That's what language is all about, right? Natural communication.
Totally. So as you go about your day-to-day, maybe just think, which of these phrases felt most useful to you? Which one feels like, yeah, I could start using that right away?
And maybe pick one or two that feel a bit challenging, ones you want to actively practice. Also, pay attention. Listen for these phrases when you watch movies or hear native speakers talk. That really helps cement them.
Great point. And here's a final thought to leave you with. Think about a conversation you expect to have later today or tomorrow. Can you consciously choose one or maybe two of these phrases to try out?
Yeah, just experiment. See how it feels. See how the other person responds. That active practice is really how you make these phrases your own and start sounding even more natural in English.